Most nonprofits struggle to raise money because of the absence of these 5 steps I'm going to be taking you through today. Think about it. Nonprofits, regardless of the amount of good they do in this world, regardless of the level of impact that they create, they still struggle to raise money. In short, according to the statistics available to us, over 70% of the nonprofits across the US actually struggle to raise money. If we have 2 million nonprofits in the US, that's more than 1.4 million nonprofits struggling. How do we correct this? This is where the 5 step process to build a fundraising system comes in. So many nonprofits do not have a fundraising system. You have the founder out there trying to chase the next fundraising strategy, trying to chase donors, trying to do everything all by themselves. But they never took the time to step back and wonder or ask, why are we struggling? Because when they ask, they're going to realize that they do not have a system. It's just like somebody who's trying to, make money without having a system that brings this money. That's why you have people trying to play the lottery, trying to, gamble, and trying to do all sort of things because they don't have a system. And that's what most founders have found themselves today in. To raise money, you need a fundraising system. And today I'm going to be walking you through the 5 step process to build a solid fundraising system for your organization that will get nonprofits to give to you over and over again. With this 5 step process, you will never struggle to raise money ever again if you follow this process. So today, we're going to be talking about the 5 step. The 5 step process to raise money, to build a fundraising system that guarantees your financial sustainability. First of all, let's talk about what is a fundraising system. A fundraising system is, give me a minute to set this properly. Good. That's good. First of all, what is a fundraising system? A fundraising system is a process that brings in money consistently. It is a system, a structure that brings in money consistently. You trying to just go out there to raise money, you trying to reach out to just anybody to raise money, you trying to, execute any fundraising strategy, you trying to chase donors will never get you funded. What will get you funded is a system that's repeatable, that's predictable, that runs consistently day in, day out for your organization. But how can you build this system? That's what we're going to be talking about today. The very first step to build this system is what we call identifying your ideal funders. Some people may call it identifying your perfect funders. Who are your ideal funders? Your ideal funders are the people who have the propensity, the capacity, and the affinity to give to your mission. And when I say people, I don't just mean individuals, I mean businesses, organizations, grantors, foundations, and even government agencies. These are people and entities that already have an established reason to give to your mission. You don't have to convince these people. You don't have to, over explain when you reach out to this group of people. You don't have to beg when you reach out to this group of people. Why? Because they already have an established reason to give to your mission. So who are your ideal funders? Your ideal funders, there are various categories of ideal funders. We have those who benefit from your mission, either directly or indirectly. We have people who have triumphed over your mission, over the need you meet. We have people who will look good by associating with your mission. We have people who, who are mission aligned, people who are aligned with your very mission. There are about 8 categories of these people and business entities that you can begin to reach out to. You don't have to reach out to everyone. Not everyone is in tune to fund your mission. The reason you are over explaining, the reason you are begging people to give to your cause is because you're reaching out to the people who do not have an interest in your mission. And the sad reality is, when you reach out to these people, you are always going to struggle. If you want to raise money, you must reach out to the people who are already in tune with your mission, your perfect funders, people who have the propensity, which is they already have an interest in your mission, people who have an affinity, they're already aligned with your mission, and people who have the capacity to give to your mission, people who have the resources, are connected to give to your mission. These are the people you need to reach out to raise money. And this is going to transform your entire fundraising approach. Because why? When you begin to reach out to the right people, you will know that there's a process to reach out to them. It's not just about running online campaigns or just about, sending out emails. The people you're reaching out to will determine how you reach out to them. So this is very important. That's the very first step. The second step of the process is creating offers. Now, let me say this. The idea of, just sending out donate now, or sending out emotional appeals, or banking on the generosity of people, that fundraising system is long gone. I will not help you ensure the sustainability of your mission. So if you're one who's just sending out emails, who's just writing grants and hoping that these will come back to you as funding, that's never going to work. Because why? The fundraising landscape has changed. When I say changed, it has changed entirely. People now ask, what is in it for me? People now want to see how their little resources can be able to create multiple impact. So if you want to be able to raise money consistently, you need what we call an offer, an irresistible offer. And how can you create an offer as a nonprofit? Because most people think offers are only left to businesses. No, you as a nonprofit, you can't create offer, and an irresistible one at that. So what is an offer? There are various types of offer a nonprofit can create. Majorly 2 types of offer. The first is what we call the value offer. The value offer is an offer that you create that gets your organization funded and also helps you further your mission. So, for example, an organization that is within the STEM industry, right, can be able to put together a resource that helps parents choose, help parents guide their kids to choose the right career, make the right career choices. Let's say they put out a resource for $15 to help their kids make the right career choices. That resource, regardless of how it is put together, whether it's a video course or an ebook, can be sold consistently to bring in money for an organization. So an organization that's already within that space, this is a resource that you can start putting out, even on Amazon, on TikTok, on various platforms, for people to begin to buy and use that avenue to fund your mission. And as you can see, it also helps you further your cause, because as when parents get that resource, they now understand how they can help their kids choose better career choices, especially around the STEM industry. You may be surprised that even such a resource may even help you create far more impact than the work you do. So that's what we call a value offer. An impact offer, on the other hand, is an offer, right, that has a specific transformation for a clear cost. So, for example, if you put together an impact offer that says, if you give to $100, right, where we can get a child a backpack that can help them have a successful school year. So what you're saying is, for this cause, we can't create this level of transformation. That's what an impact offer is. And if you fuse your value offer and your impact offer together as one, you would have what we call the irresistible offer. So, for example, putting both offers as one, we can't say if you give $100, you are not just empowering a child with a backpack to have a successful school year, including all the resources they need for that school year, but you are also empowering a parent with a guide that helps them make better career choices for their kids. Or if you our resource that our resource that helps you guide your kids to make better career choices, you're also empowering a child with a backpack that can help them have a successful school year. So by fusing both offers together, right, you can create what we call the irresistible funding offer that donors will be excited to give to. And because you now know your ideal funders, your offers must now align with your ideal funders, must align with what they will be interested in to give or to fund. That's the second step of the process. The third step of the process is creating your fundraising plan. Creating your fundraising plan. Now, your fundraising plan is something that's very, very important to your mission. One mistake most founders make or most nonprofits make is that they just go out there executing any strategy, reaching out to anyone with the hope that they can raise money from them. But that's completely wrong. If you're just running various fundraising approaches, reaching out to just anyone without the process guiding you, you're most likely not going to see consistent results. Consistent result is built based on consistency and the momentum built by continuous execution. And that's what the fundraising plan is all about. Secondly, since it's not advisable for you to reach out to people with your hands out, it's very important that you have a step-by-step process people can follow to raise money for your organization. So your job is to be able to put together that step-by-step process into a fundraising plan. So the first process could be you creating awareness or getting them to know you. The second process could be you asking for advice. The third step process is you acknowledging that advice and asking for partnership. The fourth step process could then be you asking for that funding. So you need to have a step-by-step process people can follow to fund your organization. If you don't have that step-by-step process, you will find that you're actually just executing here and there without a consistent or repeatable approach that can help you create results. The fourth step process is building and equipping your fundraising plan. If you are joining me, let me get within the comment section where you're joining me from. If you run a nonprofit, drop your mission statement in the comment section. I'll be providing you feedback. Building and equipping your fundraising team. So you need a fundraising team to be able to execute your fundraising plan. Like I'd always say, the nonprofit is not a one-man show. If you think you're going to be raising money all by yourself, you're going to wear out and you're not going to create results that you seek. If you want results, you need a fundraising team. It could be one or two people working with you. Somebody can help you send out the emails, another person can help you write grants while you you do the one-on-one with these donors and funders. It is very important you have a fundraising team. This is not a one-person process. To raise money, you need a group of people to go in with you. And not just your team, you should also be able to activate your board to support your fundraising. And when we say activate your board, you should be able to get your board to um, one, expose your organization to their network, two, make introductions to their network, three, raise money from their network if they are comfortable to do so, And four, steward your donors as people begin to give to your organization. So your board members can be able to help to a very large extent. And then lastly, launch your fundraising campaign. You must launch your fundraising campaign consistently. Following your fundraising plan, you must launch your fundraising campaign consistently. Now, you have a fundraising plan. You must be able to follow it to launch your fundraising campaign. If you have to make introductions, you have to make the introductions. If you have to follow up with asking for advice, you need to follow up with asking for advice. If you have to follow up with, inviting them in for a partnership, you need to invite them in for a partnership. And then you have to make the ask, you must follow up and make the ask. That is what launching your campaign means, basically launching your fundraising plan. And when we talk about launching your campaign, it doesn't end here, because there are those who will not give to you on the very first touch or very first ask. You should be able to follow them up. And that's where your follow-up plan needs to come in. And when we talk about follow-up, you must be able to, provide them more information, right? Show them more striking statistics, ask questions. How would it be best for them to be a part of your mission before making the ask again? Also, for those who give, you must be able to steward them. Like I said, you can't get your board members to steward them by following up with them, thanking them for their gift, acknowledging their gift, and even making the ask again. That can, ensure recurring donation. So these are the 5-step process for you to build a fundraising system for your organization that guarantees financial sustainability. If you look through the process, you will find out that there's no way it's going to cost you money. Identifying your ideal funders. There are 8 categories. If you use those categories, you can identify and build a list of your ideal funders. Creating offers. Knowing who your ideal funders are, you need to be able to create offers that align with them. And when we talk about offers, we're talking about the value offer and also the impact offer. The value offer is something they can buy and get value back in return. That also helps you further your course. The impact offer is a specific transformation for a specific course, like we explained. Once you have that in place, you now have to put together a fundraising plan that helps you promote these offers to your ideal funders, right? And once you put together your fundraising plan, you should be able to build and equip a team that's going to execute the plan consistently, because why? Fundraising is not a one-man show. And once you put together your team, you need to start executing your fundraising campaign consistently. And executing your fundraising campaign is all about executing your fundraising plan. And when we talk about executing your fundraising campaign, it doesn't just stop at launching the campaign. It also goes into following up with those who do not give, right? Having a step-by-step process that helps you follow up with those who do not give so that they can give. And then, of course, a step-by-step process to steward those who give. And like I said, your board members can be able to support you in this regard. I hope you've been able to learn how to set up a fundraising system for your organization today. I look forward to empowering you more. If you want to learn fundraising, you want to learn how to transform your organization, go on our website, idealfunders.com. You will find an opportunity for you to start raising money, building your fundraising system so that you can ensure the financial sustainability of your mission. I'll see you tomorrow. Follow, like, and share. Tell more people about this. This is very important. This will transform the organization. See you.